Today on AGetc, Eric Atkinson introduces us to Evelyn and Mark Diedrich, another Master Farm Family honoree from the 2017 class. Learn about how they got started and what this honor means to them. Then Lee Hart with Cowboy Logic gives us tips for the trail. Learn how to safely maneuver through a deadfall. And we end with Hillary Haddigan, Chief of Mission Effectiveness, Heifer International. She talks about their work around the world. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
It can be safely said that Mark Diedrich Family Farms doesn't shy away from trying new ideas. Mark and Evelyn Diedrich operate a highly successful cow-calf and crops enterprise south of Greenleaf in Washington County. After graduating from Kansas State University in 1984 with a degree in animal sciences, Mark worked for 5 years for a well-known livestock production family near Manhattan and part-time for the Extension Service as well. Then he and his new bride, Evelyn, returned to the family farm in 1990, Evelyn then launching her career as a medical technician at local hospitals. They eventually struck out on their own as Mark Diedrich Family Farms, which now consists of 2,800 acres, half crops, half pasture, 400 cows, and 500 stocker and finishing calves. They have become well recognized for their innovative ideas in cow herd management. All 5 of their children are involved with the operation, the eldest, Ryan, on a full-time basis. Mark talks about the beginnings of his production agriculture career.
I grew up right here on this farm, and so then I went to school at Kansas State, and when I graduated from K-State, I worked and while I was going to school at K-State, I worked for Don and Jane Good, and then Craig and Amy Good, and then when I graduated and from Kansas State, we worked for them for about 5 years. 89, and then in 90 we moved back here to the family farm.
You partnered with your father at that point, is that correct?
Yes.
And as you were growing up, what was the nature of the farm? Was it diversified, crops and cattle?
So we didn't raise corn or soybeans much. It was mainly wheat and milo, and then we had a fall calving herd that was here, and we milked cows just for our own use till I was like in 8th grade, hand milked cows. So then they were gone. I wasn't sorry to see that chore leave.
Evelyn, you were brought up in Northwest Kansas, correct?
Yes, I grew up in Colby.
On a farm, or?
We lived in the country, but my dad managed a feedlot. So it wasn't exactly farming, but still country living.
So how did you come to meet this gentleman then?
I was in school at K-State. I went to 2 years of junior college there at Colby and then transferred to K-State. And I was in school, and he was finished actually, but we met and began dating, and then I went on to Kansas City to the KU Medical Center for my training in laboratory science, and I finished up in 1988 and then worked there in Kansas City for a year, and then came back to Manhattan and worked in Manhattan.
And we want to note that you have applied that education to a long career now in the health field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I work at the Washington County Hospital in the lab. I'm blessed to be able to work part-time, and that really fits my family well, and I can still help on the farm. I do all the record keeping and office work. And
all the running, parts,
running,
moving tractors,
and
people.
That allows me time to still do all that, but yet keep in touch with my career.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer and work with you.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandarin with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
Talk about once you returned to the operation for good in Washington County. How did you intend to grow the operation? What were your goals early on, Mark?
Well, originally when we came back, I farmed with my dad and my brother, and it was diversified in those things. But I was interested in doing more no-till work for more low cost, and I wanted to push the cattle. I thought there was a lot more potential in that, and so I've been interested in purebred breeding of cattle, and so along the way we put in embryos for Galen Fink since 1990, and so that was another project that I really enjoyed working on, just to see what strides can be made with genetics. In 2008, then Evelyn and I, we went off on our own, and in 2011 we had the opportunity to purchase some real high quality cows in Dalhart, Texas. And so we purchased those cows, and one thing after another happened, and we didn't come up with the grass that we wanted, and then the grass price took off, so you couldn't expand and afford to buy the grass. And so then we started this semi-confined cattle operation. So the next thing to be more cost effective is the use of cover crops and grazing things, so then you don't have to physically harvest it. So then, where's your next big expense? And then with cattle, feed is the major expense. So then how do you competitively produce feed, buy feed, provide feed to the operation in a cost-effective manner? So, that's huge with animal livestock. So, we've rotational grazed cover crops.
There are many facets of your operation that we could talk about. Do want to note that the two of you have hosted all sorts of field days over the years. The recent KLA field day featuring the confined cow operation, but you've had more groups in, and you've tried to tell agriculture story that way, it sounds. Mm-hmm. Evelyn?
The first field day he had I think that was in 2009.
Rotational
yeah,
grazing.
And that was the rotational grazing, and he put a big pipeline in to
spring.
To develop the natural spring as a water source, and that was really kind of innovative at that time. There wasn't a lot of people doing that. And the next one we did was it 2011, but it was putting it in a tank underneath a pond dam.
Yeah,
you could explain more about that.
Yeah, it was. So we were looking at how to get tanks below ponds, and water was going down, and people were having trouble because the ponds, being dry, had receded, and so the cattle were going out in the mud trying to drink. And we said, how can we get that water in that tank without draining the pond, because the ponds are already dangerously low? That's where we got a contractor and went to the extension, and they said, well, yeah, this is how we can do it without draining it. And so then there was a lot of people that were interested because they were in the same situation. So we said, well, let's just try it and put that on there. We also did an anhydrous ammoniation trial in which we demonstrated how to do it.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
This segment brought to you by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
You have so many things going on the farm, but we want to note as well you're both very active off the farm, most assuredly in church activities.
Mm-hmm.
You might speak to that, Evelyn.
Yeah, I think it's important to volunteer your skill sets, whatever they are, when you can. And I enjoy, actually, our family helps out with the reading, and the kids have grown up serving and volunteering. And right now I help with the landscaping and the keeping the church decorated for the seasons, and I really kind of enjoy that.
We were about in every project, from rockery to hogs to horses to cooking to style review.
Photography. There's a lot of things to be learned from 4-H for sure for kids. It's a very, very good organization.
And they all stayed with 4-H and ended up all receiving their Key Award, all 5 of them.
While we're talking about them, let's list your children and what they're doing these days. And we'll start with your eldest, Leanne. She's the one that's not really right around here anymore. Is that correct?
Right. She's married. They got married in 2014, and she and her husband, Chad, farm west of Wichita, in Cunningham area. And so they live in Kingman, and they have one little girl, our granddaughter, Mary Claire.
But she has followed Mom's footsteps in as far as her career, correct?
Yes. She is an occupational therapist, and so she's able to work part-time. And then she also works in Pratt, PRN. So, and she really enjoys that.
And then your oldest son, Ryan, is in fact partnered with the both of you in this
Yes.
operation, right?
Yes. Yeah, he graduated in 2015 from K-State and came back here and has been farming with us, and it's been wonderful. It's been a relief to have a steady person helping.
And then your next son, Aaron, in fact, the next 3 children have a role in the operation as well, although they're not, well, the one is still here, but Aaron is actually in agribusiness himself.
Yes. He works through AgriGold. Sydney and he got engaged in December, and she works for an insurance company.
And your daughter, Nicole, is sort of following Sis and Mom in the medical field likewise.
Yes, she is in school at Wichita State, and she went as a pre-nursing student, but she's just this last month changed her major to occupational therapy. So she's been doing some shadowing and watched her sister in action several times, and she decided that's what she wants to do as well.
And your youngest is still here at home.
Yes.
Still in high school, correct?
Yes, Kevin's a senior, and he's hoping to go. Pretty certain he's going to go to K-State for at least 2 years, but he's dithering and trying to decide between something medical or possibly agribusiness.
Well, lastly, we'd like to have each of you express your thoughts as to what it means to be inducted as Master Farm family members. So we'll start with you, Evelyn.
Oh, I was extremely honored. It was a big surprise to open the envelope and be nominated, and so I just felt humbled and honored.
Mark?
I know several of the past recipients of it, and I've always respected those people, and to be included in that peer group is quite an honor.
Mark and Evelyn Diedrich, Kansas Master Farm Family, class of 2017.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Hi, I'm Randy.
And I'm Paul from PFI.
We would like to personally invite you to stop by PFI, home of Boot Daddies.
PFI is America's Western store, covering over 50,000 square feet.
Over 25,000 boots.
Visit Saddle City with the largest selection of saddles and tack anywhere.
A huge selection of hats at Big Spur Hat Company in PFI Town.
And choose from the best brands of clothing and accessories for the entire family.
PFI, located on Highway 65 at the Battlefield exit in Springfield. And I'm not kidding.
We do business with Blueville because of the quality of their work. It is excellent quality, and because they make a commitment to their customers.
We enjoy the benefits of hiring a good company to help us maintain this home.
We will always do business with Blueville. We have for many, many years, and there's no reason for us to look for any other service.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
In this segment of Cowboy Logic, we're going to work on, as we're out on the trail and we come to things like this deadfall I've got here in front of me, how are we going to work to achieve these things? I approach these deadfall obstacles or water or anything exactly how I would my obstacles. As I come up to it, I'm going to squeeze and I'm going to ask him forward. If he tries to go left, and I'm going to move him over there to the left so you can see, I'm going to put that left leg on and I'm going to put him back straight. If he tries to go right, I'm going to move him over there to the right so you can see, I'm going to put that right leg on and put him back straight. And when he gets straight, I'm going to hold pressure with my upper calves to move him forward. Now if he started going backwards at this stage, I would not start kicking on him. I would hold that pressure till he stepped back forward. I would release and re-engage whatever I'm trying to cross. One thing, as we finally get our horse to cross it, if we've had a little bit of trouble, we do not want to override at this stage. And what I mean by that is we don't want to push on this horse so hard that he rushes through or that he bolts or jumps over it. If he hadn't ever seen this and he did jump, great. That's okay for the first time or two, because at least he is moving forward when we're asking him to move forward. I don't expect this horse to do that today. If it happens, we'll deal with it at that stage. But I'm just going to squeeze him forward, keep my eyes up. I'm just going to allow him the time when we're stepping through here for him to find his own way. And I felt like he got a little bit pushy. You notice I lifted that left hand and I just asked him to move down and off of the bit. I wanted to make sure to pick a little bit greener horse today so you could see how I would deal with these situations when I'm out on the trail. I'm going to circle around here. And there's another little bit of brush over here that we've got to go through. I'm going to spread my hands out wide, my legs on. I'm just going to ask my horse to walk through here. Like right there, he started to rush and he was going uphill. Once again, what did I do? I raised that right rein this time. I held it until he came back off of that pressure. I did not pull with both reins. As he starts down this hill, if I need to help him, I will, and I'll find that spot. A common question at this stage would be, does it matter if I'm using my right or left rein? And the answer to that is absolutely, it does not matter, as long as you're concentrating on using one rein in this instance. So I'm going to walk Spider up here, ask him forward, get him straight. I'm going to allow him to find the right answer. When he finds it, right there, he started to rush a little bit. I just lift on that rein and I bring him back to me. I want to concentrate and I want to be there for my horse to help him as much as I can. If he goes to rush, I'm lifting with my left rein. I'm moving him off of it till he finds that soft area, till he gets soft. And we'll just keep working on him. It's not that big a deal. Let him make his mistakes and then say, no, that's not what I'm after. And then come back and help him the next time even better. We're coming up to it. I'm sitting here relaxing. That's a pretty intense little deadfall there. You notice he relaxed through it that time. He didn't rush nearly as much. This time I'm going to try not to use my hands as much through here. Guide him with my legs and let him He's trying to rush right there again. That's all right. What's happened is he sees that uphill and he thinks that he needs to rush to go up a hill. It's a common mistake in a young horse, but he should be able to walk up that. I really enjoy being outside and being able to use my horsemanship skills on the trail to help these horses. You'll see confidence build, and you'll see them get very courageous out here on the trail if you'll slowly present these ideas. And remember, positive energy brings positive results from a horse. We can't allow ourselves to take it personally if something isn't going right. We just have to say, that's a mistake, that's not what I'm asking, let's move on from it and represent our idea. It's all about what the horse needs from us so we can be out here and have the fun that we want to have with our horses.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide, presented by Lucas Oil, featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide radio and TV, the all-new Better Horses Network.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and Chekhov-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
I dug trees by hand for years and years and years. In the process, I wore out my rotator cuff. But when I learned about this process, I thought if there's a way to get rid of this pain, then I want to do it. So we did it, and it worked. I'm not going to go out and dig trees with a shovel anymore, but I can do the things that I want to do now.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Heifer is about communities reaching out to help other communities, and as people become assisted, they then also become a donor themselves. So a cow can make a huge difference in the life of a family. It starts to produce milk immediately, so families start to have food for their own nutritious benefits very quickly once the cow reaches the reproductive stage. And they can also sell quickly, and so a cow is a really valuable asset to a family in need. They can have both food and a small amount of income. But heifer doesn't only work with cows. Heifer now works with many different species of livestock, and we work to provide seed and seedlings and plant trees, etc., so that we're really looking at a holistic livestock and integrated agriculture development and community development as well as the basis of all of the work we do. A part of the value of the model we work with is the community development work that we do. So we work on what we call a values-based holistic community development program, and we bring communities together, but in working with the groups and working to build a common vision and a common values base, connections are built between the group members, and we call that social capital development. And really it is the social fabric that develops with the group that really makes the work that we do sustainable, because the communities can work together, they can help each other. And they pass on to each other not only the gift of livestock, but also the training and the technical expertise that they get from working with heifer. So what we've seen is that there's a local economic growth that starts because of the inputs that heifer has that really triggers a much broader development than that which heifer is directly responsible for. But it's through that the local economy starts to grow, and families start to grow in their incomes and become more resilient. And so, it's really possible to end hunger and poverty for those families that are on that pathway.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.